This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The old bats and balls. Major League Baseball has a problem, and it is that the pants are see-through.
Yeah, it's that their product is no longer safe for children or work.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Looks good. Kramer did a good job.
Yeah, well, I mean, how hard is it to take a picture? What?
Did you look at this picture carefully? Because I'm not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I see a nipple.
Like, I can't put up spring training games in this studio.
Well,
I'm going to
no
run the risk of getting fired.
here.
What? So what? It's a nipple! It's a little brown circular protuberance. It's a big deal. Hey, everybody's got to look. I got him.
And if you get one of those quick monsoons in the Grapefruit League in Florida, you know, where it like comes through and rains hard for 10 minutes.
Like a wet t-shirt contest.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
One final note on that. I don't know if you heard Unsportsmanlike talking about that. But yes, on Pardon the Interruption, on PTI Friday, they posted a lot of those pictures to their television show, and they had to blur them out. And baseball, by the way, in their infinite wisdom, came out with a statement saying there's nothing to see here.
Everything's fine. It's all normal.
So nothing's changed. They haven't pulled the uniforms off the shelves.
No.
They're going with it.
Yeah.
But why are we surprised? Manfred's an idiot.
No, look, I'm not. I'm not. I tried to tell everybody, look, this at best is not getting resolved until the start of the season. But, you know, here we are. Look, I've got some questions for you, big guy.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, for a guy that claims and was relieved when we forgot his birthday last week. We didn't say anything on the show. We didn't say happy birthday to Chew. We saved those texts offline because he's somebody that, you know, kind of like me, where, you know, again, you say happy birthday, whatever, I'll take it, but I'm not really, you know, going out of my way to celebrate my birthday. How many birthday parties and celebrations did you have over the past week or so?
Well, Dyson's was yesterday, so it was kind of a joint party over the weekend.
But it still counts as yours.
Yeah, I guess. So it started Thursday, I would say, and it ended yesterday.
So you had, and you sound a little worse for the wear. So I'm guessing a little too much, you know, birthday cake for you this weekend, bud.
No, I was very good. Thursday, I'm the one because I wanted to make dinner.
Okay.
For the kids and the family, so I did that. And then we had the little party on Friday, followed by my brother-in-law's cover band playing at a theater right down here, which was walkable, which was perfect. And then there was our other friends by the beach had an after party, to which I went home after the show at 10 o'clock and went to bed. Because I was full. I had enough.
So what, you would say twice then? Because it sounds like, I mean, you just did other weekend things. If you're going to see your brother-in-law's cover band, people were, you know, doing a little after partying, you know, after the show. So you would say that you had the party yesterday, so like 1.5? Is that fair?
Well, and then Dyson's, like I said, birthday was yesterday. So then Saturday night, because my in-laws were in town, we went on a dinner cruise to celebrate Dyson's birthday. So we had that. And then yesterday because yesterday was his actual birthday, finalized that, to which I sent you guys a video of an old guy dancing around 12:30 in the afternoon with some kind of staining in the area of what we're talking about with baseball.
The issue where baseball's having, yes.
We don't know if he spilled a drink. We don't know if he didn't shake. But it's within question. And God bless the guy. He was probably, 75, 80?
Yeah, he was
at
up there.
12:30 in the afternoon, cutting up the rug.
Hey, little Sunday
Pretty
fun day.
impressive. Yeah.
Little Sunday fun day.
Yeah. So it's over. It's good. We're moving forward back to the gym where I'm sure I caught this cold that I have, chest cold. But I saw there's a new virus out today. I was watching the news, and I think I have it.
Wait, is it so there was one, because I sent
It's just funny. There's a new virus, and I think I have it.
Well, here's the thing.
All right, yes.
You know, my gym.
I had questions, but
my gym is pretty big. It's an old LA Fitness.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever gone there, but they're quite large. And there's a lot of, snowbirds that are in and out.
sure.
No one wipes down anything. It's kind of disgusting. So I'm sure I picked it up there, even though I make it a point when I leave the place to wipe my hands down, with those sanitary wipes that they have. But obviously it didn't work.
Wait, so what's this new virus you think you have?
I think they said it's the norovirus or something like that.
I don't think that's new.
It isn't?
No, that one's fun. It might be like new to the happening like right now. It might be like, but norovirus has been around for a long time.
So what are the symptoms?
Isn't it just like kind of the flu? Is it just the flu?
Yeah, it's kind of the flu. I assume that's what's been going on. And look, a lot of people in the Northeast end up down in Florida there, Chew, so it could be. But there was some sort of bug going around because in a group text that Josh and I are in with a couple of, we have a couple of friends who live out in New York City. I was just telling them to beware because the New York Post had a story about how there was a bug going around causing pretty extreme vomiting and diarrhea.
No, I don't have that. I have whistling when I breathe.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, norovirus is vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramping.
All right, so
I don't think you have that.
I probably have
that sounds a little different
Pneumonia?
than whistling.
I mean, if I was to diagnose this, I'd probably say, yeah, you might. It's either bronchitis or pneumonia.
Those are two pretty extreme.
What about cold?
Yeah, it could just be a regular old cold.
Yeah, but I don't. You don't whistle when you breathe. When I breathe, it's like a train. When I exhale the last 10% of whatever out of my lungs, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Sure, but also when you're healthy, it sounds like there's something living inside of you. So, I mean, maybe it's just that thing living inside of you. Maybe that thing's sick.
It went north for the weekend into my lungs.
Yeah, I guess.
A little getaway.
A little vacation, trying to see what's going on in the lung area.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not big enough for me to go to the doctor yet. I mean, I could diagnose myself at this point in time, I think.
No, I don't think you can. You're not Dr. House here. Like, I think we're 0 for 3 right now, bud. Like, we went from norovirus, which we crossed off the list pretty quick, to pneumonia, which is, again, very serious, or bronchitis, which I've had, and you sound a lot worse. You end up sounding a lot worse than you do right now.
You think I could just have good old-fashioned coronavirus?
Possible.
It's possible.
I mean, that's a respiratory thing, right?
Can be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so there's 3 things out there it could be. We'll see if it gets worse or it gets better.
Can't wait to continue to hear the diagnosis of Dr. Chimura on himself.
Now, I know it's not only men that listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but there's a lot of them. And men are known to not go to the doctor. I'm going to take a stab and say all 3 of us here are, unless absolutely required, in terms of getting sick.
Yes.
Like, obviously, you go do your stuff you need to at the doctor.
Yeah,
but
like a once-a-year physical or whatever.
Yeah, but if I'm sick, I'm pushing it until, like, I can no longer take it.
Now, my next move is Dyson's girlfriend is a pediatric nurse, so she has to know how to use a stethoscope, right? So that would be the next move.
I would think, yes. It might be a little smaller than you're used to, but
yeah.
If she's pediatric,
But you just listen to the lungs and you'd be able to, oh, okay. Yeah, that's what you have. So that's the next step. The doctor's, that's like another 3 steps away. Right?
Well, I'm just trying to think of, again, I don't go to the doctor all that often. Like, how often are they using the stethoscope still?
I think every time, right?
Is it?
Yeah, they tell you to breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah, like,
okay.
If you go in,
I guess it's been a while since I've gone to like urgent care or whatever with something like respiratory. The last time I went to urgent care is because I sliced a little part of my finger off and couldn't get it to stop bleeding.
Yeah, well, I had the RSV, and this was obviously COVID was still happening.
Yeah,
and I was doing a lot of breathing in and out with the old stethoscope.
Okay.
I think that's kind of like the general. You do weight, height, Take a listen to your lungs, blood pressure. It's in there.
Well, I'm
feel
just
around
saying
your stomach for the organs. Make sure they're all there.
They're all there.
Working. So that's my next move.
Do you think she is going to be willing to help you out?
Dyson's girlfriend?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I feel like that's a big ask, Hey, I think I'm sick. Can you tell me what's wrong? Like, I feel like if you have a doctor in your life, whether that's peripheral or direct, like, I feel like the relationship, if you're asking somebody to, hey, can you tell me what's wrong with you? They're getting closer to that inner circle there, big guy.
Yeah, but there's nothing coming out of me yet. Right?
I mean, other than the regular BS, not really.
Yeah. No, once you start, see, I can make a better determination when the stuff breaks up in my lung and it comes out, just based on the color. Then we'll know.
Have you hacked anything up yet?
Just
have you seen
clear.
a mucus color?
Clear. So I'm good.
Okay. Oh, you're fine. You'll be fine.
If it goes to green or yellow,
yeah, then you bring in the professional.
Then you're talking antibiotics.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So until we get to that point.
What are you laughing about? What are you laughing about, Joshy? Because I 100% am on board with him. So when I went through my little thing last week where I missed the show on Monday because my voice was gone, like I had a little phlegm that was coming up. And, when you spit it out and you take a look at it in the sink, yeah, you're diagnosing. It was clear. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be fine. Just give me a little bit of time and I'm going to be okay.
What point would you go to the doctor?
So I've had bronchitis a couple of different times now, so I kind of know what I'm looking for in myself in terms of like how bad I feel, the voice sound, the scratchiness of the throat, like and at that point I'm just like self-diagnosing and I'm just going for the antibiotic.
Yeah. So,
I mean, if you sound fine to me right now, like you're not at the point where you need to go.
Now, I can't say this for sure, but I would imagine there's probably some healthcare professionals listening just pounding their head.
Sure. Of course they are. Look, hey.
I do know what you're speaking about phlegm colors and diagnosing through there. But, like, if you feel sick, go to the doctor. I think that's probably what they would tell you.
Yeah, look, of course that's what they would say. That's what they would say,
That's
Josh.
for liability. That's for liability reasons.
Look, I mean, and don't get me wrong. Once I've made the decision to go, I am going to follow whatever recommendations they give me. But I'm going to push back until I make the decision to go.
Can I ask one request, please?
Yeah.
If you're gonna blow your nose, just give me a heads up. You can say it audibly, just as long as you don't blow it into the microphone moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, we're clear. It's clear, right? I mean, what are we talking? A trip to urgent care? It's probably $250, right?
I mean, I don't know what kind of insurance you have, so I mean, that's
just like anybody else, crappy. So it's there. I look at urgent care as a break glass in case of emergency type thing.
No, I think that's what they have emergency rooms for.
Typically, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I'll
I mean.
let you know.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll be fine. Chef Ed chimes in saying, Chewy, you sound just a little stuffy. If tomorrow you sound like Doc Rivers, then I would seek care.
What happened to Doc?
Well, have you ever heard Doc give a post-game presser?
Yeah, well, that's more of a cigarette voice than it is a cold voice, right?
Yeah, he's just been
just his voice, though.
Yeah,
it's just gravelly.
Yeah, which is
and then he starts yelling a little bit when he's on the bench, and next thing you know, it becomes a little more strained.
Yeah.
But I think, you're going to be fine. Like Joshy said, I don't think everybody needs to hear you when you blow your nose.
I put the microphone way up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
But I got to imagine that you are a person. Your wife has been known to call you the elephant before because you make so much noise kind of stomping around. You're not one of these people that's going to be blowing your nose silently. My guess is you're giving it, there is an inhale before you start giving a little bit extra effort to make sure it's all.
And it's understood that men are much softer than women.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, they're so much tougher than us.
1,000%. Well, I mean, do you think that's probably because of the whole childbirth thing? Like, once they've gone through the whole childbirth thing, they're like, oh, this isn't as bad as childbirth, so, I'll be fine.
They throw that card down a lot. You know?
So Dave from Aaron, Chewy, is a man probably close to your heart. I've given myself stitches to avoid the doctor.
Yeah, I just use super glue. Gabe, you saw me perform
I was about to say,
on my finger with
I've seen you do it.
razor
Yes.
blade.
Yeah, I've seen you do that, and then stitch yourself up with a little bit of glue.
That was weird. The color of stuff because that was like silicone.
It was more than likely infected.
No, it would have been white if it was infected. Gabe, it was like silicone. It was kind of neat.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Definitely was.
Okay.
Things you avoid to going to the doctor, 800-990-3776. We're going to talk a little bit about the Packers salary cap, unexpected salary cap room for the Green Bay Packers. We dive into that coming up next. But I do want to tell you about my friends at Mentality, because it doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue for any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. And Mentality is dedicated to you to make sure you feel and perform at your very best. Maybe you aren't sure if you have low testosterone. Well, for me, after kind of hearing some of the ads and talking to the people at Mentality, tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself, don't have that energy to get through your day, to really attack the day the way you're used to. You just don't feel like yourself from a year or two ago. That could be low testosterone, and it's easy to find out if it is. Book an appointment, go to lowtusa.com. Go through the process. At the end, you get a blood panel done. Within a week, your results get back to you. And if your testosterone levels are low, then you can choose whether or not you want to work with Mentality. And the great thing about Mentality, it's not one size fits all. It's like, oh, your testosterone levels are low. Here you go. No, it is a process to make sure that your testosterone levels are where they need to be for you. It's not one size fits all. It is customized for you. So go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments at lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Everything seems to be moving along quite well so far this morning. No major delays around the area. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes. Northbound 41 just north of Capitol Drive, but everything else looks pretty good. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny with a high of 55 at the lakefront, 63 inland tonight. Partly cloudy, a low of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and if you're like me, you're probably budgeting out the rest of your 2024. Well, now's the time to set preferred dates for booking Johnson & Sons Paving. Whether it's asphalt or concrete, they set the standard for your needs. Maybe it's patching now, but a full repaving later. Talk with a Johnson & Sons project manager and set yourself up with a 5-year game plan. Booking work now gives you all the time needed to get the right paperwork in place. Get started now at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner.
Why do challenge flags only exist in football? Think how useful they'd be in real life. Like when you're positive it's not your turn to walk the dog. Challenge flag. The neighbor's kid says it wasn't their ball that dented your car door. Challenge flag. Your friend paid you back, but you definitely don't remember that? Boom. Challenge flag. Imagine settling a disagreement with an instant replay. Why isn't the world like that? I guess it's because it's technically impossible. You know one thing no one would ever challenge? Protecting your home and auto with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Do you love winning? This February, head to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and fall head over heels with the Love It or Leave It $400,000 game show. Thursday nights, you could play the Love It or Leave It game show where you can love your prize or leave it for another. Play with your club card to earn drawing entries. Top prize is $10,000 in cash. It's time for Love It or Leave It. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaceBig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips, so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How much will Angie let you grow a beard?
I would say for 3 months I have to keep a beard if I lose.
Okay, and Angie would allow you to have a beard for 3 months.
She doesn't run my life. Drop that.
Yeah, how do you?
On 94.5 ESPN.
A little bit of advice for you as well, big guy.
Yeah.
When it comes to blowing your nose, Matthew hits us up at 800-990-3776 saying his dad blows his nose so hard that he popped a blood vessel in his eye. So careful, you know?
That's way too hard.
But what am I supposed to do to Josh? You give him the third base signal, coach? Hey, on the camera, like, Joshy.
I'll allow you literally to say, I got to blow my nose. And that'll just be me, go over, turn your mic off. You can reset.
Okay. I think it's got to be coded, though. Can't just say, hey, I got to blow my nose.
I mean, you can throw out a play call, your favorite play call, and I'll just know that's what you're trying to tell me, just at any random time.
Red and black means the play's hot. So if Brett's at the line, it goes red, black. All right.
If I start hearing random colors, I'll turn your mic off.
But if it's yellow, it's just a dummy call.
Yeah. Lavender 12.
You gotta know the dummy calls, Josh. If it's a dummy call, then you turn off his mic premature, and then we can't hear the brilliance that is Mark Chmura.
Yeah. Good point.
He's got to be able to, football's not just a physical game, it's a mental game.
I mean, are those signals really necessary in baseball? I mean, it's 2024. Can't we do something else?
Well, I mean, people are trying to steal signs all the time. I mean, it's the same thing with you guys until you got the earpiece in the helmet when you guys were being stupid and, Texas is the lasso, and you were doing all the different hand signals trying to mess up Brett.
Yeah. The funny things are the dirty ones we tried to get through.
Well, you got Tiger
that
through.
That got ixnayed.
You got Tiger through.
We got Tiger through.
Explain Tiger.
Oh, so Tiger, and this is only if you're, streaming on YouTube. But so the funny, go ahead, show him Tiger.
Tiger's like you're grabbing a set of boobies.
So Tiger,
it's supposed to simulate a tiger, like roar.
Yes,
I'm scaring you.
Yes, like the claws.
The funny part about that, so this is like circa 1994, 1995, right? Mm-hmm. Young Gabe is 9, 10 years old, and we see and you guys were doing it probably through the time you were done, right?
Yeah.
So, this is my adolescent years, middle school into, into freshman year of high school or whatever. And me and my friends noticed what they were doing. Like, what? Are they doing what we think they're doing? And assumed that they didn't because, they're professionals.
Yeah.
And then I come and I, get to work with one of the guys that was doing it, only to find out that, no, they were doing exactly what me and my friends thought that they were doing when they were signaling Tiger.
Well, professional in their profession, professional not at work.
No. Rounding second base.
So the NFL announced a 2024 salary cap jump to $255.4 million. That is a $30 million increase. And, I mean, for the most part, a lot of people were expecting a big increase. I know I had seen some stories that thought that it could be 245, maybe 250, but to go all the way up to $255.4 million, it's the biggest one-year increase in history. And this is, to me, Chewy, a good thing for the Packers because they still have some lingering, I don't want to call them necessarily issues, because when I think of salary cap issues, I think of what New Orleans has to do. Like, they're going to end up having to rework Derek Carr's deal, and they're going to be stuck with Derek Carr for 2 more years, even though they don't want him. That, to me, is a salary cap issue. They just have some lingering salary cap things, I guess, they have to take care of. Potentially eating some dead money here or there. We know about the voided contracts that voided last week, where they're going to have to eat, around 10, 12 million, something like that. But this really helps out with that. To make this type of increase, I think the Packers, in terms of their salary cap, are going to be relatively healthy and probably won't have to rework as many deals pushing money into the future as once hoped. I think this is great for the Packers. It's not going to open up Chicago Bears type free agent money that they're going to have to go out to spend, but I think it's going to put them in a really good spot and get them healthy in 2024, and they're going to be in a really good spot in 25 and 26.
Yeah, but if you look at the teams in their division, these teams are a lot more cap healthy than they are. I mean, like the Lions have $57 million. They're $57 million below the cap, so they could. I mean, what does that get you? One really nice free agent and maybe some. Second tier. I just don't see the Packers going out and landing a big money free agent this year, right? I mean, the Bears. Where are the Bears? The Bears have
they're still top
78.
5. Yeah,
million.
they've got a ton of money, but they also have a ton of issues, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's what it comes down to. Like, I mean, the Lions being winners of the division and having a lot of good young players that they like. Having the free agent money that they do is a little envious, but at the same time, I look around and I think the only place I'd really want to spend any sort of significant money on is safety. Just the way we talked last week after Halfley met with the media for the first time about how important, and he described his perfect safety and how important that position is. Whereas, like last year, Chew, because of the way that they played, a lot of too high. Like there's really not a difference between your strong and your free safety.
No,
like they're just kind of both back there. They're interchangeable. Now, like they have to have differentiating physical qualities in terms of what you're looking for. That single high, maybe the guy that's playing a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. So I only think the Packers in safety is not necessarily a big money position. You're not breaking the bank, but I would be good with them going out and getting one of these top free agent safeties that could potentially be out there.
Do you force it, though?
No, I mean,
force it? Are you forced to? If you don't get one in free agency and they franchise tag all the upper talented safeties
the
in the
Winfields,
league, do you force it and go in the first round and say, all right, we have to take a safety? That's what I don't want them to do. When you start doing that, then you're in trouble. I mean, there's something to the best player available. I always said it was the best player available at the biggest position of need. Gabe's giving me signals
Gabe
that I'm not sure what they are.
He says, you can hear me, Chew?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. Well, we lost Gabe somehow here, but I'm still here.
I think his signal that he's giving me is I'm on first base. I'm on third base, and he wants me to steal second. It's not making sense. He wants me to go backwards.
We've got absolutely nothing from Gabe here, so I'm just going to throw us to a quick break. We're going to try and figure this out. We'll be back here in just a second, Chew.
All right, buddy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are still moving along pretty well. We do have a little bit of a backup from about 92nd Street all the way to about 70th. For the most part, looking pretty good along eastbound 94. The southbound side of 43, all clear right now, all the way into the Marquette. Same for the 41 southbound area. Northbound 4394, a little bit tight right past Oklahoma Avenue. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny with a high of 55 at the lake, 63 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 46. Weather's brought to you by Showtime Floors, installing beautiful floor shield. Transform your garage or basement floors into a showpiece. Mention ESPN for 10% off. ShowtimeFloors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lozagon, 94.5 ESPN.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership by joining the U.S. Army ROTC. Army ROTC programs transform students into confident leaders and provide a wide range of scholarships to help pursue life-defining careers. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth. Gain the experience and get the resources to open doors down the road. Army ROTC is open for enrollment. Visit goarmy.com/ROTC to learn more about available opportunities and scholarships, including at Marquette University.
Q Club of Wisconsin is a hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
We have so much going on. We're the place to be for basketball season, with TVs everywhere. Book a party in our VIP room, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. Sign up for summer bocce leagues now before they fill up. And of course, we've got our fish fry on Wednesdays and Fridays, where we pile it high!
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out qclubofwisconsin.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Tune in to Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks peels back the curtain to give fans unique access and deep storytelling unlike ever before. Subscribe and download right now to get a companion podcast to the new Amazon documentary, Giannis, A Marvelous Journey. Hear about the making of the dog and learn about how Milwaukee became home for the Adetokounmpo family. Find Behind the Bucks at bucks.com/plus or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And then you have Raj, who I didn't think he just didn't have the body type of a right tackle.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Who the hell are you talking about?
What's his name? Yash.
Raj?
Like, I was thinking, okay,
Who's Raj? You tell us, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
NFL with some unexpected cap money. Now, some of this does relate to back in 2020 when the NFL actually decreased the cap with the pandemic going on, and they slowly deferred payments and getting some of that money back to the players. But at $255 million, the Packers don't even have to do anything right now to be salary cap compliant when the league year opens in a little over 2 weeks at this point, which is great. Like, they don't have to worry about that. They don't have to. Now, they then will have to make some moves if they actually want to, sign their draft class. But I think it's great, Chew, that with this extra money, it allows them to get salary cap compliant. And I'm with you in terms of I don't want to force it. I don't want to reset the safety market because I don't think that the best safeties are on the free agent market. I don't want to have the highest paid safety as a member of the Green Bay Packers, whoever that ends up being in 2024. But I think this allows them to be able, because think about this. They are going to be able to pick up $20 million in salary cap space whenever they decide to move on from David Bakhtiari. And I think everybody believes that's ultimately what's going to happen, is that they're going to move on from David. Or if you're a fan of Bach and you want him around, they're going to have to do something with that contract. Like, he can't play for $40 million because it's a huge unknown. And you can't pay $40 million against your cap for that unknown.
Is there more dead money there?
Well, I mean, so technically they would incur $20 million of dead cap space, Chew.
Okay.
But effectively, they'd pick up $20 million because his base salary for 2024 is around that number. So they wouldn't be responsible for that.
Yeah.
Well, so they would pick up. So instead of having David Bakhtiari play for you and count for $40 million against the cap, he could not play for you and only count 20. So you'd pick up $20 million that you can do whatever you want with.
You can't roll the dice. The only way you'd consider bringing him back is if he took a base salary of, say, 5, and then we'll give you're not going to give him the ability to get up to $40 million.
No. No, because you just can't.
He's what? He's early 30s?
Yeah.
I think you just move on.
Probably.
I'm comfortable with what they have now. They have some decisions because if you do get rid of Yash, you need a backup at that position. I know Tom can pretty much play all positions on the offensive line in a break glass case of emergency, but I think you just move on.
Yeah.
There's just no guarantees. You gave him 2 years of pretty much collecting a salary without paying much.
Yeah, so that basically pays for your free agent class or your draft class and a little bit more.
Yeah.
Restructure another deal, maybe move on from Devondre Campbell, and boom, you're able to come up with money to potentially go out and sign one of these top-end safeties.
I mean, the guys that are not under contract and that are going to be hitting the market are just guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can always find guys out there to replace other guys.
Mm-hmm.
The way you attack this, I think, is just hold off this year when it comes to free agency. Get it where you got some money in the bank because they're going to have to deal with the Jordan Love contract.
Yeah. That's coming.
I mean, that's
going to
be a big chunk, 50 or more. So they're going to have to dance with that deal. Because we kind of lost the luxury of San Francisco, where Purdy doesn't count anything against the cap. Probably not going to sign him after one more year, so they'll have. I wonder what they're going to do.
San Francisco?
Well, because they don't have to pay Purdy yet. They probably have a year.
Yep.
So will they even go more in than they? Because this is kind of it.
I don't know if they can go more in because some of these guys are making a lot of money. So, like Chase Young to me was purely a rental for them.
Yes.
So Chase Young won't be back.
And he's not worth big money.
No. He's more of a name than an actual. I mean, he's a good player, but people recognize his name because he was a high draft pick, played well at Ohio State, but his NFL career has not translated to as big of a name as he is. My guess is San Francisco is going to be relatively the same.
Because they
could move
are.
on from Ayuk.
They're $5 million below. Or, I mean, they're $5 million above the cap.
Sure.
And then I look at a team like the Eagles, who are going to be, a thorn in the side of the Packers. They've got $27 million in cap space. So they can do a few things. But these teams, I think, are getting, their window is shutting where the Packers is just opening. Would you agree with that? Like Philly's on the back end. A.J. Brown is a year older. So he's creeping on that 30 mark.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be fine. I think Philly's window's pretty open.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe I believe in Jalen Hurts too much.
Okay.
Maybe more than other people. But I think Philly's... I mean, San Francisco, this group window is closing. But I also think that they have a good management team that they're going to find a way to keep that window maybe not as wide open, where maybe, they have to play a little bit more perfect football.
Yeah.
Where you're not going to have the team that gets outplayed for 3 quarters and then you're going to be able to pull it out in the fourth quarter the way against the Packers, because at some point they have to pay Purdy and you're not going to be able to afford 2 great inside linebackers and a couple of great pass rushers and one of the best safeties and a corner and the best left tackle. Like, you're not going to be able to have all these best in football positions, but I think that they're a well-run organization with a good head coach and a good GM that they're going to find a way to stay relevant.
What about the Buccaneers? They scare you at all?
Not even a little bit.
I mean, because they have $43 million to spend.
Yeah,
No?
I mean, how much does Baker Mayfield scare you? I know he came to Lambeau and had a perfect passer rating, but Baker, for the most part, is a middle-tier quarterback in the NFL.
No, but that's an organization that's kind of figured it out, and the GM there is running a pretty good show. I mean, they had a better year than expected, right?
Did they? I mean, they were kind of expected to be one of those teams in the mix, and they finished around 500, and they were 9-8, and I mean, they were about what I expected them to be. They just play in a crappy division where you can win single-digit games and still win the division.
Yeah. Okay.
So until further notice, I guess if Atlanta ever figures out a quarterback, that's the only team I would be scared of in terms of being a thorn in the Packers' side.
That roster's that good?
The Falcons roster?
Yeah.
It's starting to become pretty good, yeah.
So you'd be worried if they went out and got Kirk Cousins?
I don't know about, if Kirk Cousins never had the Achilles injury, I'd be a little bit more concerned, yes. But Kirk comes with a gamble, there's a little bit of a gamble with Kirk because he's getting up there in age and he's coming off an Achilles injury.
What about Justin Fields?
I think Justin Fields makes a ton of sense there, but I think it's going to take him at least a year to kind of figure out how he fits in.
Okay. I didn't realize their roster was that good.
Well, they've got Drake London, they got Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts.
They've got skilled players.
Their defense was surprisingly underrated last year because they couldn't do anything offensively because they were trotting terrible quarterbacks out every week.
Yeah.
Gabe, would you rather try and spend in free agency, or would you prefer to get cap healthy and then do the spending in the future? Would you be okay with the Packers kind of standing pat? Now, that doesn't mean fully standing pat, but say they sign a mid-level free agent just because the safety position is at this point nobody.
Yeah, so there was a great piece by Pete Doherty that I saw in the Journal-Sentinel this morning, talking about, so Xavier McKinney seems to be the new hot name. Maybe you're familiar with Xavier McKinney's work, maybe you're not. But he's a young safety who's potentially a free agent from the New York Giants. And nobody knows what the Giants are going to do. But there is, outside of and we can have Jason explain what this means tomorrow, I think. But everybody knows the franchise tag. There's also a second tag called the transition tag, where it essentially makes the player a restricted free agent where teams can still go out and then you can match and do all these different things. But you would also then, if you were the team that signed this person, have to give up some draft picks. The transition tag is something apparently the Giants are considering for McKinney.
Which is right of first refusal,
yes,
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if, let's say I'm the Packers, the Giants slap on the tag on Xavier McKinney. Not only am I going to now have to pay McKinney, I'm going to have to probably give up draft capital as well.
Which they have.
Which they do have, but I don't know if Xavier McKinney, I'm okay giving him money. I don't know if I want to give him money and give up other draft picks, because the Packers do still have some other holes. So I'm at a spot where if none of these upper echelon safeties actually hit the market, if they get franchise tagged, which the window's open for another week and a half, if they get transition tagged, yeah, then I'm okay with the Packers standing pat. Because, like you said, I don't want to force it. I don't want it to go, well, all the other good safeties are taking. Here's top dollar for the, 16th best safety in the league. I don't want to do that.
Would you trade anybody?
The problem is, I don't know if there's a safety on the market, Chew.
Yeah, but you don't think, and I said this, I think even during the season, you wouldn't trade Christian Watson for a top-rate safety?
If I could, but I don't think any team's going to take that deal right now.
Just because of the hamstring?
Because of the hamstring.
I don't know what they're going to do with the hamstring. I don't know what they've been fighting this battle ever since I was playing, the hamstring injury. Also, I don't think they're inventing a magic pill where, your hamstring problems go away. It is what it is.
Yeah, soft tissue issues. Some guys just have them, other guys don't, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a genetic thing.
Yes.
Am I also falling for the trap of I'm excited about the new defensive coordinator? I watched his press conference. He spent a lot of time talking about safety. So now I'm just going safety crazy? Is that possible as well?
Yeah.
Where I'm a dog with a bone and I don't want to give up the safety because I heard Jeff Hafley talk about it so much?
Probably.
Yeah, I think it's a yes and a no. I think we can fall victim to the star position thing that happens.
100%.
But I also think Jeff Hafley can conduct a defense without a star safety. I think if you want Jeff Hafley's defense at its best, at its peak, at its pinnacle, that's the kind of guy you're going to need type of deal. So it would be ideal for it to happen, But I don't think if they don't get the safety, we should count the defense out. I just think it opens up him to what he wants to do more.
Yeah, and look, I'm with you. And the other thing about Hafley, which makes me excited, is if he doesn't get that safety, whether it's through the free agent, or they draft the safety and he's like, this guy ain't it. Like, he's going to figure out different things to still try to highlight the good things they do have on defense, even if he can't play defense the exact way he wants to. At least that's what I took away from his press conference, is that he's willing to, okay, we don't have that safety, maybe I can't play defense like that. We've got to figure out a different way to be an effective team.
He's got to see if these corners, other than Jair, can play bump, because that's what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't get the safety and it turns out Stokes and the Valentines can't play bump, now you're really in a pickle.
I think Carrington Valentine wants to.
Yes.
He seems like a guy cut from the same cloth as Jair in terms of attitude, where he wants to be in your face.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign because, as we know, some former players just simply don't want to do that. They have no interest in it.
Yeah, because they're not good at it.
Correct.
Wait, are NFL players like that? They don't want to do things they're not good at?
I mean, I'd like to take the ball 80 yards over the middle, but we're looking more in the 40 range.
Okay? Cap out at the 40
Know your
yards.
limitations.
What, do you even know? I'm going to look it up right now.
No, you don't need it. 33.
That was your career long?
Yeah.
Take me through it.
I was in New England. They were playing cover 2. Well, actually, I think they were playing cover 7, man underneath. And Brett got the scrambling, and the play went long, and I was actually backing myself up into – I wasn't even running. I was just backing up, and he just barely fitted in between the safeties, and 6 points, touchdown.
Was there? So there was no.
It's a Monday night game, I believe.
It wasn't catch and run. It was the
catch
play
and fall down.
Yeah, you just caught it. You just ended up in the end zone.
Well, it's crazy because I had such good peripheral vision, and I could see the ball coming, and the safety's closing on it, and I was just like, "Ooh, is it going to get here? Is it going to get here? Is it going to get here?" And it did.
How did you?
I mean, it was literally inches away from the two safeties' fingers.
How did you make 2 Pro Bowls with your career, or 3 Pro Bowls, excuse me. I don't want to shortchange the Pro Bowls. How did you make 3 Pro Bowls with your career long being 33 yards?
We ran the ball a lot more back then.
Yeah, in fairness, you also did have a 33-yard reception in the 1994 playoffs.
Now, get this, Gabe.
Okay.
My longest career reception in college. How long do you think that was?
72 yards.
Ooh. 78.
See, I knew it had to be up there because when you were in college, A, you were lighter, and B, you've made the note of you were detached from the line a lot.
So that one was down the middle, kind of beat the safety, same thing. I got caught at the 3-yard line, right?
No.
Fumbled the ball. Hold on. Fumbled the ball.
Yep.
Did a barrel roll.
Uh-huh.
And the ball was right in front of me.
So it still ended up being a touchdown.
Oh, thank God I said my prayers that day.
Wait, who was the coach? Was
it might have been I think it was Coughlin.
Because if it was Coughlin, whoever it was before, I don't think you'd have been scared.
No.
If you would not have recovered that ball, and went back to the sideline with Coughlin over there,
I would have I would be missing some tuchus. But I don't. You probably can't pull it up. But it was just perfect.
How many of those yards of that 78-yard reception were you in just a foot race?
Well, they were gaining on me.
Yeah, I mean.
So I got away from them. I mean, they were right there, but instead of trying to tackle me,
trying to strip,
they were trying to get the ball out.
Oh.
You know?
Can't take the ball away from my guy.
No.
My guy ain't fast, but I'll tell you what.
Except for when you did and he has to
I tell you what, though. I tell you what, I think I only fumbled one time in my NFL career, and that is one of the loneliest feelings because we are on like the 8-yard line, and Brett threw me just a little ball in the flat, and I think it was Derek Brooks that just knocked it out. So I fumble first quarter in Tampa on their 11. That's a lonely place.
That's tough.
That's a lonely place. And I think the D held them to 3 points, saved my ass, and we went on to win that game. But that is a lonely place.
According to Pro Football Reference, you had 3 fumbles in your career.
Yeah, but I got 2 of them back, so they're not really fumbles.
All right.
I'll give you them.
All right, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you fumble and then you just land on the football, that doesn't really count. All right.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if you lost or this is just as 3 fumbles. That's all it says.
Yeah.
But, okay, we're not counting 2 of them because you recovered both of those.
Yes.
Change the way you do business. Take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for you and your business. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Do you love winning? This February, head to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and fall head over heels with the Love It or Leave It $400,000 game show. Thursday nights, you could play the Love It or Leave It game show where you can love your prize or leave it for another. Play with your club card to earn drawing entries. Top prize is $10,000 in cash. It's time for Love It or Leave It. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at pacebig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could beat lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text ENERGY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ENRGY to 42424. That's ENERGY to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Greater Milwaukee Golf Show presented by Old Fashioned Golf returns Friday, March 1st through Sunday, March 3rd at a new location in Franklin at Mosh Performance Center and Lux Golf Bays. Save $5 on advance tickets at royalgolfshows.com. The first 1,000 people each day get a free sleeve of golf balls. Experience what Lux Golf has to offer in their new free hitting bays. It's the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show, March 1st through the 3rd at Mosh and Lux Golf Bays in Franklin with free parking. Visit ROYLE golfshows.com.
Join the Milwaukee Bucks on February 27th as we celebrate historically black colleges and universities at our HBCU game presented by JCI. Enjoy pregame, halftime, and postgame events that honor the legacy and excellence of historically black colleges and universities and those who attended them. For more information and to purchase an HBCU night ticket package, visit bucks.com/impact.
Are you tired of looking at a dirty, dusty, and cracked garage and looking for a fresh new look? Hi, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I'm here to tell you about Floor Shield by Showtime Floors. Using a state-of-the-art coating 4 times stronger than traditional epoxy, it's tough enough to be used in military bases and airports. Floor Shield is certified as an anti-slip floor and also eco-friendly, all while being UV stable, and my favorite part, easy to clean. This makes it perfect for outdoor spaces, just like your patio. Check it out at showtimefloors.com and work with a specialist to transform your space in as little as 1 day.
They say love is a universal language. Well, that's definitely true if you're talking about bacon. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? Forget the chocolates. Give the gift of bacon. It's everyone's love language. And you're going to love it that our bacon's on sale right now. With quick hot savings, we're taking bacon down to $2.49 a 12-ounce pack. Limit 2. Savings on bacon? Whoa, that's 2 love languages at once. And we're multilingual like that. Quick Trip. We're saving your bacon.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Unbelievable that they ran all over this vaunted defense, this elite defense.
What Kool-Aid?
Why? It was poop Kool-Aid, and we gobbled it down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Ewald always makes it easy, and it's Auto Showtime right now in Milwaukee, which means it's the best time to shop for the newest cars, trucks, and SUVs, but you don't have to wait until the show. You can experience your favorite models at your nearest Ewald now and get special auto show savings with top dollar for your trade-in on over 700 new vehicles in stock, matched by Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty only during Ewald's Auto Show sales event. It all starts at ewaldauto.com. A couple of texts I want to get to here quickly. One from Justin saying, we also don't have any safeties, Gabe, so I don't think you're being safety crazy, which is fair. I think the only one, Anthony Johnson, might be the only safety other than, who actually got some playing time last year, who's under contract right now for the Green Bay Packers. Josh texts in saying, Jair to safety, let the other DBs who played well, let them play cornerback. Let me tell you what's not going to happen, Josh. You're paying Jair top dollar at corner. You know who makes less than corners? Safeties.
Yeah.
You're not going to spend that type of money and move him to, maybe eventually at the end of his career, but as of right now, he still has that athleticism. He's going to be your main corner.
And you know what safeties have to do that Jair doesn't like to do?
Tackle.
Just to run down the name of safeties here, because you mentioned the one we know, Anthony Johnson. He was a draft pick. He's got a 4-year contract. The 4 other active.
Oh, okay.
Well, Zane Anderson, special teamer.
Yep.
Zion Gilbert is on a 1-year deal. Tyler Coyle and Christian Young. All names that I heard for the first time except for Zane.
Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like I heard Zane once or twice.
And Zane was because he was
tackle.
inactive all year until the end of the year, and nobody knew who he was. So,
and then he was active, and it's like, oh, look at this Zane guy. And then this one from Jamie in Orlando, 800-990-3776. Antoine Winfield Jr., top-tier safety in the league. Tampa has a lot of guys they're going to have to pay. So even though they have cap space, if the Packers could snag up Winfield, that would be a huge upgrade at safety, and that would fill a lot of voids in this defense. Look, Jamie, I do not disagree with you at all. That all makes perfect sense. Literally everywhere I've looked, every free agent piece, whatever website you want to go to, yes, Tampa has a lot of free agents, and they need to figure some things out. Some of their free agents are older. Literally everything I've seen is that Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to get franchise tagged.
Yeah. You'll lose Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Baker, they bring Baker back.
Yeah, they'll figure out something with Baker.
They have to do something with Baker. So they're in a little bit of a rebuild, too. But that's the thing. All the top safeties, Baltimore, wherever you're at, they're not going to let them go.
Yeah. That's always kind of the problem with free agency. It's like you've got to take a bit of a gamble because the way the NFL is set up, if these guys are hitting free agency, chances are there's a big reason for that.
Yeah, but would you throw that up there? You're losing Mike Evans. They need a receiver. Do you say, hey, Christian Watson, where they have plenty of receivers that can play right now, Christian Watson for Winfield, and kind of balance the two sides out a little bit?
I think they ask for your first-round pick then.
Yeah, probably.
Because there was a time where who did they want to get in Carolina? The Packers.
Yeah,
weren't the Panthers were offering a first-round pick?
We were talking about Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, the Colts.
The Colts.
No, but I thought the Panthers were.
I think the Panthers
a player as well.
I think the Panthers asked about Watson, but I don't think the Packers. I don't think that one went anywhere.
Okay.
Because here's the problem now. Now that he had more hamstring issues this year, Chew.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to Christian Watson, the problem is he's still an unknown quantity, and you only have 2 years of that unknown quantity. Whereas Antoine Winfield, you know what you're getting into at this point. He's really good.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give up a Christian Watson, you're probably going to have to add something else to that deal. Like Joshy said, it may have to end up being a first-round pick.
Yeah, then I'm not doing it.
There was a call put in. This was around the draft last year. Of basically, the Panthers were just gauging interest to see what it would cost. So there was no like term
Nothing
set out.
official?
Nobody. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It was just kind of, hey, we are interested in this guy. What do you guys want?
How the hell do you remember that from last year's draft? Like a little nugget that came out from the draft, and yet you probably couldn't tell me what you had for dinner last night.
You are correct. I have no idea because my short-term memory is horrible, and my long-term is actually pretty good.
But that's the thing. Like when we just had fun with it last segment where you were describing the play where you had the longest catch of your career. You described the play where you had that fumble that you lost at Tampa Bay. Like that stuff, I've been around you long enough. I know if I ask you a question about your NFL career, you're going to remember it. Like there's not going to be very many foggy details, even though it happened, as we're getting closer to 30 years ago now. But then the times you remember things that have happened in the time that we've been hosting a radio show together for like 4 years, that still dumbfounds me. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for the things you remember and don't remember.
There probably is if there was a deeper dive into it. Kind of like the lungs.
No.
I mean, if you went to a doctor, they'd say, well, you got this. Well, I kind of figured that I had that, so just saved myself $250.
Also, the further I look into this seems to be a report from one single Twitter account.
And I'm not even on Twitter.
Yeah, he's not even on Twitter. That's what I'm saying.
So it seems like you got sent that in a group chat of sorts, and then it just stuck with you somehow.
But like, as much as Joshy and I try to pay attention, as much as we are actually on Twitter, like we didn't remember that. He had to look it up, and here you're the one pushing this narrative of, oh, you remember this?
No, I know. And Twitter won't let me on anymore. You guys send me a Twitter feed through the text chain. Does me no good.
We might just have to start sending you screenshots.
Yeah. Thanks, Elon. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Is there something in your life that you could use in terms of kind of a coach to kind of push you in the right direction? The Rams did something interesting over the weekend I want to dive into in 2 minutes. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Right now, we're seeing some delays along eastbound 94 coming out of the 92nd Street area all the way through the stadium to about 35th. Westbound side's heavy from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 4394, watch out for some delays coming out of the Mitchell interchange around the Playfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. And southbound 43 backing up just a bit between Keefe and Center Street. Now checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny with a high of 55 at the lake, 63 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Get to the live events you love with the assist from Vivid Seats. Whether it's the upcoming baseball season, basketball, or hockey, experience it live with a 100% buyer guarantee. And with great deals on great seats, being there is all that matters. Plus, with Vivid Seats rewards you can earn with every ticket purchase, including surprise seat upgrades, birthday discounts, free tickets, and more. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The old bats and balls. Major League Baseball has a problem, and it is that the pants are see-through.
Yeah, it's that their product is no longer safe for children or work.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Looks good. Kramer did a good job.
Yeah, well, I mean, how hard is it to take a picture? What?
Did you look at this picture carefully? Because I'm not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I see a nipple.
Like, I can't put up spring training games in this studio.
Well,
I'm going to
no
run the risk of getting fired.
What? what? So what? It's a nipple. It's a little round circular protuberance. It's a big deal. Hey, everybody's got it. Look, I got it.
And if you get one of those quick monsoons in the Grapefruit League in Florida, you know, where it like comes through and rains hard for 10 minutes.
I'll take a wet t-shirt contest.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
She wants to ride and she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like
NFL positional coaching is getting out of control.
Why is that?
I think I've reached my moment of, all right, maybe we have too many assistant coaches. Maybe the NFL has a little too much money that we're paying somebody for this. You ready for this, Chew?
Yep.
So Sean McVay, Super Bowl winning coach, one of the most respected coaches in the NFL, right? I mean, a couple of years ago, if you talked to Sean McVay, you were getting head coaching interviews. He has hired a game management coordinator. John Stryker is the new addition to the coaching staff with the title of game management coordinator. And what that means, according to McVay himself, when he was asked what Stryker will help him with, quote, not to use my timeouts in the second half until I need to. We didn't have somebody else on the staff that could already handle this? What's the quality control coach doing on game days?
I don't disagree with that position because clearly there are some coaches that need that guidance. And I'm thinking of Dallas.
Yeah.
McCarthy's always been I wonder if this stems from Kyle Shanahan.
What do you mean?
Not knowing the overtime rules in the playoffs or when it comes to the Super Bowl where they don't have to worry about it. Because I always thought, and typically most teams had someone in the booth watching the replays or whatever, telling the coach, yes, replay it or don't replay it.
Yeah.
That I've known they had. But, I mean, there are so many rules, rule changes, and things like this. And I don't think – is there a cap as to how many coaches?
I don't think so.
Assistant coaches you can have on an NFL team?
No, there's no coaches union where you can only spend X amount of dollars. That's why the Packers can spend what they did on their special teams coordinator and Rich Bisaccia. You can have as far as I know, you can have as many coaches as you like. Now, there's rules on how much those coaches can have contact with players during the offseason.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think there's a restriction.
But I agree. I mean, could someone else take over what this coach is going to do? I mean, because there's got to be an analytics guy.
Right.
Telling McVay, 4th and 3 on the plus 45, you should go for it, right? There's got to be a guy like that saying, what do the odds tell me?
Sure.
So, I mean, if it's unlimited and they got the cash to do it, then sure.
Game management coordinator to help with timeouts? Like, you can't just, learn situational awareness yourself? How has it gotten to this point with NFL coaches? That they're just hiring a coach to help them? I wish I could just hire a coach. If there was a coach you could hire, if there was a personal assistant, because that's basically what this is. Is this not? Is this almost like McVay's personal game day assistant?
But, Gabe, it is also someone to fire when they screw up. Hey, this guy told me to do that. You're gone.
Another layer.
It's another layer of protection.
Oh.
Wouldn't you like that on the show? I didn't know I couldn't say that word. Rudy over here, who's the broadcast management specialist, told me I could say it.
Well, but here's the thing: how much more insulation do you need on this show? If you say one of those words you're not supposed to say, I get yelled at because you said it, and Joshy will get yelled at it if he doesn't dump it. You've already got that protection on the show.
I think Joshy's got the toughest job. Am I right, Joshy?
It can be. If I follow the rules, it's fairly easy.
Hold on. We had a perfect example on the show already. Earlier.
Okay.
Gabe couldn't hear, talk, nothing. Nope. Not my fault. Not my fault. Yeah.
Touched a button back there somewhere.
I mean, you were given the obvious signals because I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Tap into the earphones. I got nothing.
So you could understand what I was saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we make Ashy our game management coordinator? More things
Ashley
blame
Well,
you.
so here's.
Hold on. Can you just tell me what he does? No, I mean, we technically have. Well, we got a lot of bosses.
Okay,
but
so
in our little space here, Gabe, we have 3.
Yeah, and then technically 4. I mean, if you want to go as high as Craig, we could probably have 5 bosses.
Well, you got Scals in there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the level of bosses we have, and the crazy part is, like, you've at some point have heard all of these voices on ESPN Milwaukee. So Ashton Rotman is the executive producer of ESPN Milwaukee. So he is like the first level boss, right? Then above him, we have Brian D. Does Marquette College Game Day still for us?
What's his title?
He is director of content.
Okay.
So then we have Greg Scalzo, former host of Scalzo and Brust, who's right above him. So I guess where does Evan fit in? Evan's above
Craig. Yes, he's above.
He's above Greg
because he's VP.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good call.
Ho.
Yep.
So he's after Brian before Scals.
No. So he's after. So you have Scals, who's the market manager. Technically, I guess in the organizational chart, Evan, who we have a meeting with on Wednesday this week, is above him as the vice president of content for the entire company of all of Good Karma Brands. And then, of course, you can hear Evan each and every weekday on Unsportsmanlike right before we jump on the air. And then Craig Karmazin, who's on our show each and every week. And then the Sunday Karma as well. So we have 5 bosses, Chew. We have 5.
Normal for people?
5 bosses seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. Seems like a high. I think we have a lot of bosses.
Yeah.
Well, Chew requires a lot of bosses.
That is a very valid point.
Wait, so this is Chewy's fault that we have this many bosses?
Nothing has been more true on this show than that right there. I think I've offended all of them at some point in time. Craig definitely. Evan just wants to pick fights with me.
Yep.
I don't know why.
I think the only one you haven't defended is Scals.
He laughs at me, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
He just laughs at me.
I don't know what you could do to offend Scals.
Yes.
Yeah, because he just laughs at you.
I think this is informative. I think Angie needs an underboss. Somebody that you can report to before going all the way up the chain to her.
Deal with Chewy buying 2 pairs of shoes on Amazon. Yeah. Like, deal with the mundane BS before it gets to the, she'll come in when it gets to the, the higher end things. Like, can I buy this, 500 bottle of wine or whatever? But yeah, I think maybe you need a second boss at home too.
I mean, when you get called into the principal's office or the boss, should you know what you did wrong?
I mean, I think you would typically have an idea. Yes.
Okay. Like when Holmgren called me and Brett in to the office.
Okay.
We had no idea what we did.
You did?
Granted, we did my TV show a little drunk. But I didn't think that was wrong.
Seems like the boss at the TV station might have an issue with that. I don't know why Holmgren would care.
Oh, because you're representing the Green Bay Packers.
And if you look back,
fine.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 6.5, 7.
Sure.
Were you snitched on for having drank on your TV show?
No, he watched it.
He was just able to watch it. He was just able to watch and see you were intoxicated.
One of the best sell jobs ever by number 4. Great. Because the problem is Brett was grounded.
Okay.
But he wanted to have a few pops, so he said, hey, have me on your show. I'll have our Cato Kalin bring some beverages, and we'll just sit there and hang. So it was actually a really good plan until this Holmgren decided to turn the TV on while he was laying in bed with his wife.
Your really good plan to have beverages was to go on TV?
But he didn't have the beverages on TV. It was the excuse. Yeah. It was the excuse to break Brett out of his grounding.
I think just in general, if I'm trying to get away with something, I'm not going to be on TV at all or on the radio.
I thought it was a good sell job. You know who was a little bit involved in it too? I don't want to dime him out, but I will.
Who's that?
That works for our station.
Homer?
I don't think he imbibed at all. No. Vinny Vetrano.
Really?
Vinny used to work for Channel, what's the CBS in Green Bay?
5.
Yeah, Channel 5.
Yeah, so I knew Vinny used to work up there, but so he was a part of allowing you and Brett to go on the air intoxicated?
Do you know who John
I wish Vince did have a show right now. I want to steal him, and I want to know what his recollection of this would be.
Well, he was an understudy. You know John Mino?
Yes. I've heard him talk. I've heard Vince tell stories.
He was the host of the show.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think Vinny, at some point in his career, this is almost 30 years ago, was under Mino's purview.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't do anything wrong, but
all right. He was just around.
Kind of guilt by association a little bit.
Yeah.
Which feels like a lot of things that happened back in those days.
Because Holmgren called Mino.
And he what? So he asked, hey, were my guys having a couple pops before they went on?
Yeah, so he dimed us. But Brett, what a sell. How many beers did you guys have? 2? I think it's 2, maybe. It might have been no more than 3.
Why is 2 always the number people go to when they have too many?
How many have you had? 2? Just a couple.
But he bought it.
Does having 2 do you any more than having 4?
For someone my size?
4's double 2. That's double the amount of beers.
But if Chewy has 4 or 2 beers, I'm expecting the same level. Now, when we get to 8, I start going, oof, okay, well, that's But 4 is how long were you guys there? How long had you guys, at that point, it's kind of I can understand. I don't think 2's doing you much service.
Yeah, but he bought it. That's all that mattered.
Are you sure he bought it?
Oh, he did. Yeah.
I want to call him.
Are you sure he bought it, or did he just not want to see you in his office anymore and just decided?
Mike was a little naive at times when it came to things like that.
Is it possible it was naivete by design?
Could be. We didn't get punished.
What would a typical punishment for you look like? Let's say you told the honest truth on how many beers you drank. You don't have to tell us how many you had before you went on this TV show. I'm just saying, let's say you were honest and he decided that's enough for you guys to get punished. What is the punishment?
He'd say you're not going out after the next game.
Okay.
He was more of a dad than he was a coach. Well, he had that,
Yeah, he had that father-like figure where you didn't want to disappoint him. Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Like, Gabe, I throw a cat after we blew up my parents' front seat when I had my learner's permit with an M80.
Yep.
And threw the cat in there and with a little catnip, and my parents bought that. That was a horrible story.
Do you think the parents bought it, or are they just exhausted because they had 4 of you in their family?
No, I think they bought it. I really think they bought it because I told a story to dime my brother out.
Well, because the thing is, I feel as I've gotten older, and I think of some of the different little white lies that I've told my parents over the,
Yeah.
You think you're clever, you think you get away with it, but also I think the parents just reach a point where they just don't care.
Yeah.
They're just like, fine, we'll accept whatever you told us. Because here's the thing, Chew. You probably thought you were a really clever kid.
Yeah.
I guarantee your children think that they have done some things to pull the wool over your eyes, but in reality, you're just like, I don't have the strength. And you just bought whatever they were selling.
Totally now, yeah. Totally now, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Kids aren't actually as clever as they think. I was not as clever as I thought I was in high school. No, it turns out, big dummy.
Yeah.
Huge dummy.
No, I dimed Angie out her parents were in town.
Wait, what? What? You dimed your what? That's supposed to be your ride or die.
Listen, she had older brothers. The parents went on a vacation somewhere for the weekend. So the older brother called up Angie and said, you need to come pick me up at this party. I don't have a ride home. Well, Angie was 14 years old, took the parents' car, picked them up, came back, hit a deer, totaled the front of the car, took it over to the body shop at 14 across the street, said, fix this thing, and if any of you tell my dad, you're going to be on my list. And they never knew. They know now.
First of all, shout out to Angie for having that intimidation factor at 14.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Angie, your wife, for at 14 being able to go to her parents' auto body shop and going, hey, fix this, don't tell my parents.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Josh, if you could have a game management coordinator in your life, what would it be for?
It's pretty boring, but I think it would probably just be somebody who can remind me when I'm supposed to do stuff. I have a calendar. I don't always put things in there, and I should. And it's just like simple, like, oh, you need to be leaving now. I also get distracted, like at home if I'm doing something, need to go somewhere. Next thing you know, I'm already late because I haven't left the house yet. It's more of an assistant, I think, is probably.
Well, but again, I feel like game management coordinator is a fancy way of saying it's Sean McVay's game day assistant.
Yeah, like telling me, hey, you need to time out right here. Step back. You got to go somewhere. You need to be home. You need to go pick up food, whatever.
I think that's the equivalent of an NFL coach needing timeouts.
What about you?
That makes sense. Yeah, like things, even though I have a list, I will forget things at the grocery store because I won't put the things like in order of the way of the aisle I'm going in. So like I write it down by the recipe that I'm using, right? So, I've got 3 different things that I'm making throughout the course of the week, and I might miss, the cilantro I need for the last thing while I'm in the produce aisle because I thought, okay, I got everything on this list. Turns out I didn't.
All it is a Cato Kalin.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Just an organizer, somebody to help give you a little bit of direction, push you in the right direction.
Nothing wrong with that.
If you could choose between, let's narrow this down to, you can have like a chef/dietitian, you can have a chauffeur, or you can have just like a personal trainer. Which of those things do you think would make the biggest impact in your life?
Personal trainer.
What was the first one?
Chef.
Like
I need more of an organizer.
What do you mean?
I'm with Gabe. Like the grocery store is a train wreck for me, and that's why I go every day because I forget 3 things, and I'm like, I'll just get it tomorrow when I go.
Well, that's with my new house. Like I have a grocery store that's like 3 blocks away, 2 blocks away. I'm just walking over there and grabbing stuff all the time.
Yeah, but I'm guessing I have more time in my life than you guys do.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I'd say that's fair.
The whole retired thing.
Like, I really have nothing to do after go work out. Sometimes I just go walk around Home Depot because it's fun.
We're just taking laps in the Home Depot? Like the old people used to take laps in the mall here?
People are doing that again, by the way.
Oh, are they?
Oh, yeah.
Are they really?
We got some walkers up there.
Well, again, it's the winter. The Skywalk system here is fairly nice.
You're far. Yeah, it's a long haul.
So I could see that if you're a little bit older, gives you a place to walk, some cool things to see, people in the pickleball courts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Blammer goes to Woodman's, and Woodman's is huge.
Oh, yeah. It's a great place to take laps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of a place like Woodman's, Chew, make sure you're picking up, next time you head to the grocery store, make sure you're picking up Palermo's because they have so many different brands. They're going to have a pizza for your taste because they have so many different brands under their umbrella. Palermo's, Urban Pie, Connie's, from the hit Netflix series Stranger Things, Surfer Boy Pizza, and of course, the old standby Screamin' Sicilian. Now, right now in my freezer, I've got a couple different kinds. I've got an Urban Pie margarita pizza. I've got a Primo Thin, which is great if you're a little more calorie conscious. Also has a good cheese pizza. I like to have a couple different cheese pizzas at my disposal when we hit the Lent season. But I also want to have, the Screamin' Sicilian. If you have so many different brands within that, maybe you like a thin and crispy, maybe you like the stuffed crust pizza. They have a pizza for your appetite. That's the great thing about Palermo's. And because they've been doing this for 60 years, of course, the quality is going to be there when you see Palermo's on the box. Find them in your grocer's frozen food aisle. Palermo's is Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, backing up a bit from about 84th Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange to about 35th. The westbound side slow just through the Stadium Interchange itself. Eastbound 894 backing up from just before Forest Home Avenue all the way to about 68th. Maybe again right through the Loomis area might be a little bit of a tap of the brakes just to make sure they're working. And then along 41 northbound, we've got a broken down vehicle just about at Burleigh off on the left shoulder, kind of in a weird spot. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a high of 55 at the lake, 63 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Are you sick and tired of achy joints? Dread the idea of surgery? Then you need to call QC Kinetics today. Hey, this is Brad Nortman. Listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids and surgeries are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, whether it's from arthritis or an injury, don't let this pain keep you from living your best life. QC Kinetics Advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, reclaim your independence, walk, run, play, and live without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful drugs. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. Call 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
The moment you've been waiting for is here. Eagle Sports Range is officially open for action. It's Wisconsin's largest indoor range, offering unlimited range time in 40 lanes, which include 20 20-yard lanes and 20 50-yard lanes, and no reservations needed. Just show up and let the fun begin. With a staggering selection of 100 firearm rentals to use, every visit is a new adventure. Eagle Sports Range is also a go-to for education. Take advantage of their concealed carry classes and gun safety courses. Safety first, excitement second. Visit them out in Cudahy or online at eaglesportsrange.com. Eagle Sports Range, where education meets exhilaration.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm going to go with the corn dog, the old corn dog. The corn dog for the
pierogies
birthday.
and borscht all day long.
That's just crazy. Nobody likes borscht, let alone on their
it's
birthday.
so good. It's the only thing that makes my mouth water, other than my wife.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I'm just a stranger.
Your next hangout spot is found right in Waukesha. Q Club of Wisconsin is the perfect place to catch a game, play some games, and grab a drink. Bocce courts, dartboards, foosball tables, and of course, pool tables. 10 of them. Plus, the Q Club of Wisconsin has its best fish fries on Wednesdays and Friday nights, and you know they just pile it high. Check out the live music Saturday and stop in for brunch every weekend starting at 9 a.m. It's all happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin on North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Visit qclubwi.com or like them on Facebook.
The NFL Competition Committee isn't going to have anything this week, but maybe relatively soon, to propose for potential rule changes to the NFL for the 2024 season. Owners' meetings happen later in March, and that's when all of these things would end up being voted on. But there are two things that kind of popped up over the weekend, Chew, that the competition committee is at least considering. Again, they haven't necessarily put these up for votes anywhere. But the two things are, number one, the kickoff. The NFL's tried to figure out a way to keep the kickoff in the game, yet somehow make it safer. I believe it was a record low number of kickoff returns across the league this year because most teams don't have somebody like Keyshawn Nixon, where you feel like, okay, you can bring it out, take the gamble because you're going to get near the 25. Most teams, even a lot of teams, were just fair catching shorter kickoffs to bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. And they're considering the XFL rule. Are you familiar with this?
I am not.
So the XFL rule for kickoffs, which is not going to be used in spring football this year, the first year of the UFL, but was used in the XFL last season. So you have the kickoff from the 30, but the kicker is by himself. The rest of the team is lined up on the opponent's 35, 5 yards apart from the other 10 guys as well. So you have 10 guys on the 35, 10 guys on the 30. You've got the kicker back at his 30, and then nobody can move in terms of the other 20 guys until the kickoff is caught. And then they brought touchbacks back out to the 35-yard line because they wanted to encourage returns. Is that something you could get into? It looks a little funky, I will say that. If you watch any XFL games, it looks funky. But I think in practice, it might be the best way to do it if you're looking to make the kickoff safer.
Should they just do away with it and give... Or do you create a competition with the kicker? You make a bullseye, and if he shanks it or puts it outside of the bullseye, then the other team gets the ball at the 40. If he nails the bullseye, then they get the ball at the 20.
I don't think you can get rid of the kickoffs in kickoff returns, just because it gives you an opportunity where if you decide to invest in that area, where you can get an advantage. It's what the Packers have been able to do.
No, I agree.
The last couple of years. Like, instead of everybody just starting at the 25, like, I think it gives you an opportunity. If you have a good kickoff returner and you're down late, well, if he brings the ball out to the 35 or 40-yard line, now you've got a shorter yardage, you've got a shorter field to work with in order to tie up or take the lead or whatever the late game situation is. I think I do not want to see the kickoff go away.
I don't, but I mean, if there's going to be less kickoffs even in this next upcoming year, what's the value of bringing back a Keyshawn Nixon? I mean, I know he's an okay, what would you call him, an okay nickel guy or dime?
Yeah.
But he's without the kickoff return, then he's just a guy, right?
Yeah, he's just a guy as a defender. He's special with the ball in his hands as a returner. And I think that's what you pay for.
Is it that unsafe? I mean, are there a lot more concussions on kickoff return as opposed to other special teams?
I think there are. I think they've done a good job of minimizing it, but it's still deemed an unsafe play because, again, you've got guys running down the field and then the contact happening after they have all that momentum of running down the field happening.
I believe, if I remember this correctly, and I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure the concussions number were similar. It's just that there was more of those big injuries as like general health things because of the rate of speed. I don't believe like the heads were more at risk was my understanding. And it's also a visual thing, which is very important to the NFL with the appearance of how it looks. Somebody running 30, like they did away with the, what was it? The wedge?
Yeah.
That used to can't have, I don't think you can have any player shoulder to shoulder. I know they went from 4 to 2 because I used to be in that back wedge, and let me tell you what, it was not fun.
Well, because then you had a wedge buster, right? You had a guy that was just running and throwing his body at the wedge to try to break it up.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, what percentage of kickoffs now are going outside of the end zone anyways? 80%?
Yeah, I mean, most of them are touchbacks, yes. It was a record low number of kickoffs. But again,
but it's a violent game, Gabe.
That's what I'm saying.
I get, trying to make it as safe as possible, but they're without putting flags on a guy, still got to have some physicality.
So that's where this other rule that I don't know how they do this. I don't think they can do this. Are you familiar with what a hip drop tackle is?
Yeah, you showed me, I think.
So in this article from Pro Football Talk, this describes a hip drop tackle occurs when a tackler pulls down a ball carrier while dropping his weight onto its legs. It has caused several notable injuries, and Judy Batista of NFL Media reports that the competition committee is, quote, aligned in eliminating it from the NFL. However, the Players Association, is against this rule. Because, again, outside of that, I mean, you can Google hip drop tackle and see it. I don't know how you can determine what's not a hip drop tackle and what is a hip drop tackle. Like you said, this is a violent game. Getting other grown men to the ground requires force.
Yes.
And if they somehow push this one through, the first 2 weeks of the NFL are going to be unwatchable because there are going to be so many damn flags where they're trying to figure out what this rule is.
Yeah, and I mean, you get into compromise positions as a tackler where at times you have to do whatever you can to get the player on the ground. I don't know. I mean, it's very similar to the horse collar, right?
Well, the horse collar at least is like I know what a horse collar is, right? It's when you're reaching around and you're reaching, you're reaching to try to grab.
Sure.
Whereas this, like, you're engaged with the guy already, and you could just tackle a guy normally and be putting your weight on his legs. And now that's somebody, the one official from one angle is going to say, oh, that's a hip drop tackle. And next thing you know, you're penalized 10 or 15 yards or whatever they decide to do for it.
For me, this game, which is a lot different than when I played it, has enough explosive plays in it. Would you agree?
Yes.
I don't need any more explosive plays. And that's all this is going to create.
Yeah.
It's just going to create more explosive plays.
Well, because I feel like these hip drop tackles happen a lot when you're in pursuit, when you're trying to get an angle on someone, when you're trying to chase them downfield. So it's like, okay, how do I tackle this person now when I'm running side by side with them trying to tackle you?
I know. It's just, where does it end? And then they're going to be on to the next.
Well, because again,
these players can't tackle as it is.
The NFL, Chew, they're going to be injuries. We're not going to be able to get rid of them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so much for, and I know Bakhtiari was a big part of the uproar when it comes to artificial fields, and I just see on the ticker that the Bengals are going to a turf field. So much for the NFL. I mean, it's almost laughable when you think about it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It absolutely is.
I mean, there's going to be injuries no matter what you do.
Yeah, and I don't think you can legislate it out of the game. It's part of, like, the physicality, I think, is also a part of the attraction of the NFL.
Yeah.
Has been for a long time. Now I feel like people are going to come at me and say that's not the case. For whatever reason, you're not allowed to say that part out loud, that the physicality of the NFL is something that people enjoy. I mean, it's something we used to celebrate. I understand why we don't celebrate it anymore. When I think of the jacked up segment that used to happen as part of Monday Night Countdown on ESPN.
But that was all about the head, Gabe.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
And that's great. I agree
100%.
with them having had multiple concussions.
Yep.
They addressed that. They did a nice job with it. But enough already.
The physical nature of the NFL, you're not going to be able to get rid of it. It's just not a part of it.
I agree.
Golf lovers, listen up, because we've got the opportunity of a lifetime for you. We're heading over to Scotland. That's right, on the tee, heading over to Scotland this October with our friends at Wisconsin Golf Trips. Join me and Stephen Watson. We'll head overseas to play some historic and highly ranked golf courses like Dumbarton Links, Carnoustie, Kingsbarns. Also going to play the Jubilee and New and the Castle course. This package includes green fees, lodging, transportation, and more. There are only a limited amount of spots available, so sign up now. How do you sign up? Well, it's easy. Just text GOLF right now, 800-990-3776. GOLF, G-O-L-F, 800-990-3776. A link will be sent to you. You can get the full itinerary, see all the things we're doing, see the dates that we're going to be in Scotland, and there's also a button at the bottom of the page where you can put in your deposit to secure your spot to go to Scotland with myself and Stephen Watson at On the Tee and Wisconsin Golf Trips. Text GOLF to 800-990-3776.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, backing up a bit from about 84th Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange to about 35th. The westbound side slowed just through the Stadium Interchange itself. Eastbound 894 backing up from just before Forest Home Avenue all the way to about 68th. Maybe again right through the Loomis area might be a little bit of a tap of the brakes just to make sure they're working. And then along 41 northbound, we've got a broken down vehicle just about at Burleigh off on the left shoulder, kind of in a weird spot. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a high of 55 at the lake, 63 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
A weekend road trip for the Bucks to start their post-All-Star break schedule, and it couldn't have gone any better as they beat the Timberwolves on a late Damian Lillard jumper to seal the deal.
They can let that clock go down. Lillard fades and fires, and he rattles through the 18-footer. Oh, it's Dame time.
112-107 the final in Minnesota on Friday night, and on Sunday afternoon, the Bucks went into Philly and took care of business, winning by 21 against the 76ers, who were without Joel Embiid. 119-98 in that one. Giannis dropped 30. A home-and-home series is now up next for the Bucks as they take on the Charlotte Hornets. Starts on Tuesday night at home with a 7 o'clock tip.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Hey, this is Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the best decisions I made recently was getting an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. They're a local business that's been around for 2 decades, based right in Appleton and Waukesha. Good Health Saunas are easy to install, cost as little as 25 cents a day, and include a true lifetime warranty. Even firefighters all across the country trust Good Health Saunas for sweating smoke out of their skin after fighting fire. Learn more at goodhealthsaunas.com. That's goodhealthsaunas.com.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
I wish I was a better golfer.
4 is an odd word to yell.
Whoa, where'd you come from?
It's me, Flo, and I'm here to grant your wish of Progressive taking $50 off your deductibles. Just choose the Deductible Savings Bank feature and finish your policy period without filing a claim or having a driving violation.
Great, but what about my golf swing?
Oh, I just do insurance. Sorry.
Sign up for Progressive and opt into more savings. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Join the Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball team for the Battle of I-43. This Saturday, the Panthers take on in-state rival Green Bay at UWM Panther Arena. Tip-off is at 5 p.m. Cheer on the Panthers in the final regular season home game. Bring a teddy bear and participate in the teddy bear toss at halftime. Plus, experience all the action, including clutch three-pointers, rim-rattling dunks, and game-changing blocks. Visit MKEPanthers.com for this Saturday's Battle of I-43. Tickets start at just $19. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
63.
What's that?
The number of yards they gave up on the ground against the Philadelphia
It's a Bible
Eagles.
verse, John 3:63. Look it up. Tell us what it
I
says.
thought it was Joe 363, and it was "Thou shalt not get past me on the line of scrimmage."
On 94.5 ESPN.
Did you happen to see when fans stormed the courts in Wake Forest's win over Duke this weekend?
I did.
So this has led to a bigger discussion about whether court storming should be banned in college athletics, because Kyle Filipowski, who is the starting forward center for Duke, was injured as the fans from Wake Forest came running out there. It had suffered some sort of ankle injury, needed help getting off the courts after the game, and that has just led a wild debate online, wild debate. They were just talking about it on Get Up for a long time, about whether or not court storming should be banned. Should it be banned?
No. I like it at the college level. But, I mean, you have to think of player safety. We were just talking about the NFL and their rule changes. Do you stop the game with 5 seconds left, get the players off the court, run the clock down, and say, go ahead, have at it? Because I don't think you can without bringing in a lot of security. It's very difficult to stop that, especially when you're talking about students.
100% true. So that's where I land on it. Like this whole talk of banning. So John Shire, who is the head coach of Duke, after the game said it should be banned. When are we going to ban court storming? When are we going to ban that? How many times does a player have to get into something where they get punched or they get punched or they get punched, they get taunted right in their face? It's a dangerous thing. Caitlin Clark, after Iowa had lost a game this year, a fan kind of ran into her. She hit the deck. Obviously, she ended up being okay, was not injured, didn't miss any time. But my whole thought on this thing is, like, isn't court storming already banned? Like, fans are not allowed on the floor. But everyone just kind of, I don't know if they just look the other way, but you can't stop students from doing this.
No, and I go back to when we beat Carolina at home in the NFC Championship game. They came over, and they had mounted police there.
Sure.
Because they were anticipating this, but they said anyone before the end of the game, anyone on the field after the game has ended will lose your season tickets or your privileges of going to a game.
Sure.
I get that at the pro level.
Yep.
Like it should be banned from that standpoint, just for player safety. But I don't know. I like it in college football and college basketball. So, I mean, that's a fun environment.
So that's my thing, Chew, is I just don't see it. I don't see how you stop this. Like, if students decide that what are some actual practical solutions to stop an entire section and sections? Because a lot of times at these college arenas, they're on both ends now, right? It's not just, they're under this one hoop. No, they're under that hoop and they're under that hoop.
Yeah.
So now they're coming from two directions on both baselines, as they were at Wake Forest for this game. What are practical solutions to stop that? Because if they want to go, you're not stopping them. In a college football game this year, after Kansas beat, I believe it was Oklahoma, who was a top 10 team at the time. We all remember. Do you remember what happened there? Kansas rushes the field. They took the goalposts down, and that wasn't enough. They then took the goalpost out of the stadium and threw it on a pond on campus. Like which was hilarious. We talked about it at the time. It was cool. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But like if these students decide they're doing something,
they're going to do it.
They're going to do it. I don't know any actual practical solutions to do this. And I'm with you. Players say, like, there should be a way that you can figure out safely to get players off the floor, because like losing a game in a hostile environment like that, like part of the punishment shouldn't be injury, right? So you got to figure out a way to, that I agree with you. Player safety, you have to do it. But I just don't know if there's a practical way to do it other than just hope that the students rushing on the floor want to get to their team as quickly as possible to celebrate and aren't going to try to take some cheap shot at an opposing player.
Well, I wouldn't think. I mean, I get it. I would just take the revisiting team off the floor, because if I was part of the Wake Forest team, I don't want to go in the locker room, right?
Oh, 100%.
You want to celebrate with the students, but I don't know, do you make an announcement saying any interaction with a visiting player, it's not along those lines, because we are going to videotape, will result in arrest?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think the fan at Wake Forest did anything intentional.
It didn't.
To the Duke player.
It did not seem like that to me either. And depending upon, I don't know. I think all the contact there was incidental. And anybody who's trying to slow it down and say, oh, Filipowski was trying to trip this fan, I think is making an argument in bad faith, because I don't know if you can definitively say that. If you shorten the clip just enough and you start it where his leg is out because he's trying to take, a step forward so he can get off the court, does it look like he might be trying to trip someone? Yes, but I don't know if you can definitively link that argument one way or the other. But you have to find a way, to get that opposing team off the floor safely.
I think you just go to the visiting coach and say, do you want us to stop the game with 5 seconds left or remove the players from the court?
Yeah. And look, sometimes with 5 seconds left, like, the game's not over. Now, this one was, I think it was like a 5-point lead or whatever, and the students started running on the floor before 0 was on the clock, so that was part of the issue. But I don't think you can stop court storming in college athletics. I just don't think you can, because too many students now have seen it happen, and they want to do it.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't happen. You're not. That's not guaranteed to be part of your student experience. I think of Marquette. I think the only time that they've rushed the floor was that back in 2017, I want to say? 7 years ago when they beat number 1 Villanova. Nova was coming off of winning the national championship. They were the number 1 ranked team. Marquette won a close one. Like Jalen Brunson had a chance at a layup, missed it late, and Marquette grabbed the rebound, and then the students rushed on the floor. You beat the number 1 team in the country, you're on the floor. That's the way it happens. But that's what students are anticipating that. They want to have that opportunity to rush out there on the floor if you pull off that upset. So I don't see it going anywhere.
I think the bigger discussion, Gabe, is what is rushing the court etiquette. When are you allowed to rush the court? Now, clearly in this situation, yes. Wake Forest not even ranked, beating what was Duke?
Number 8.
Yeah, that's rushable, I guess.
Yeah.
Duke has the blue blood thing too.
Yeah, they've got that. Yes,
they're more rushable than say.
Well, they bring it on
Arizona.
themselves. Yeah.
Yes, and that's another part I was going to add here. John Shire and Duke being the messenger of we need this to change. You're not going to win a lot of favor from general fans.
No,
I agree.
No. Yeah, it's the wrong. It's coming from the wrong place.
Yes.
I would also say like some sort of exciting shot, like if, let's say in 3 years, Wisconsin's hovering around the top 10, but Marquette beats them inside Fiserv Forum on a last-second shot. Somebody hits a 3 at the buzzer. Yeah, rush away. An exciting shot against a rival. I think you can run on the floor. I think that fits it. Because it's all about the excitement of the moment. So if you hit that game-winning shot as the clock hits zeros, I think running onto the floor is okay as well. But yeah, usually it's going to be top. If you're Duke, Kentucky, UNC, chances are if you're top 10. Otherwise, probably top 5.
Do they do it in high school? I know you do a lot of baseball, or used to do a lot of basketball games.
No, I don't think so.
As I say, I've seen it happen. It seems rare.
Yeah. Because for the most part, if you're going to your high school's game, like everybody knows, some teacher's going to be able to recognize you if they don't want you doing it.
Mr. Johnson can easily bring those ramifications to home hour the next day.
Like I've seen it at when they do the state championships at the Kohl Center, they'll usually have like 2 teachers hold like a rope to prevent the students, which isn't really preventing anybody from doing anything, but it's really the 2 teachers where if they see you run out there, then you know you're going to get in trouble.
Detention.
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of repercussions to that. Right now is the chance for you to win some of these Greater Milwaukee Golf Show tickets. It's presented by Old Fashioned Golf. It's returning this Friday, March 1st. It runs through Sunday, March 3rd, at a new location this year, Mosh Performance Center in Lux Golf Base. First 1,000 people each day get a free sleeve of golf balls. It's the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show, March 1st to the 3rd at Mosh and Lux Golf Base in Franklin. Of course, now it has free parking. Visit RoyalGolfShows.com and save $5 on advance tickets, or be caller 5 right now, 800-990-3776, and win 2 free tickets to the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show. Caller 5, 2 tickets to the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show, which begins on Friday, presented by Old Fashioned Golf.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Another huge night for Cam Jones and the Golden Eagles.
Cam Jones, step back 3 is good, sweet, pure. 34 for the second straight game for Cam Jones. He's got 4:31 left.
Marquette routs Xavier 88-64 on Sunday night. The second straight, as you heard Homer say, 34-point game for Cam Jones. Next up, a Wednesday night matchup against Providence. There's just 4 games left in the Big East Conference schedule for the Golden Eagles.
Who makes dental and vision insurance simple? That's easy. Delta Dental of Wisconsin. If you ask yourself who encourages you to use your dental and vision benefits for preventative care, provides quick service, offers access to the largest provider networks, and helps you save money when you need more than a checkup, there's only one answer. Definitely Delta Dental. For more information, call Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, named synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Hey, it's Toby from Wendy's. Picture a Baconator. The 6 strips of Applewood smoked bacon, the hot and juicy beef, the melty American cheese, the pretzel bun. Wait, pretzel bun? A pretzel Baconator. And it's only here for a limited time? This changes everything. Like what I'm gonna order today. And tomorrow. And the next day. And the next day. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Pretzel Baconator today.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Get ready. This week, Staples has deals so good, you're going to want to sit down. Are you sitting? I'll wait. Great. Right now, during Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $180 on select chairs. That's up to $180 off desk chairs, up to $180 off computer chairs, and up to $180 off gaming chairs. So hurry into Staples now for the Staples Sit-a-thon and grab a seat or two. Ends 3/2. In-store only. See associate for details.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls, and right now, schedule your free in-home estimate, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus, a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions apply. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I mean, this world is geared towards women. Like, what do we
I
get?
am stepping away from this. Goodbye.
Like, what do we get? They get a comb that dries your hair. We get a stupid razor.
Hey,
I mean, what's the coolest thing we get? They get the hair dryer?
Control.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Only had one poll on the poll today. With the NFL increasing salary cap by $30 million in 2024, do you expect the Green Bay Packers to be spenders in free agency? 70% of people still saying no. Which is fair. I mean, that's kind of how we've been conditioned as Packer fans.
I was to say, that feels like conditioning.
Yeah.
I did want
good
to
conditioning.
I did want to ask that because I think later we can ask, do you want them to? And we'd be interested to see how much that number is.
Yeah.
Because also some people have... some portion of the Packers fan have decided that, like the Packers, it's useless in free agency, which is not really the case. You can get better through free agency.
Yeah. You don't have to, exclusively spend through free agency, but a little here and there. It's not a bad thing. Certainly has been helpful for the Packers at times. Ronnie L, as based on our last conversation we had about court storming, also texted this. If you don't want the court storm, then don't get upset. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. No sympathy for Duke. When you're a perennial contender, you should prepare for your team how to handle a court storming. Look, the fans ran on the floor. Zeros had yet to hit the clock. I understand this, but also, it's not as easy as just going, oh, we're not going to get upset today. That's just not how sports work.
Mm-mm. And what do you mean?
Consequence, yeah. And look, I understand if you don't have any sympathy for Duke because they're Duke. Mm-hmm. I get it, right? But at the same time, the consequence of losing a game on the road should not be injury. I feel like this is something we can get behind.
Yeah.
Right? There's just got to be a better way to do it. Or maybe there's not. I honestly don't know. I just think that the comments of ban court storming, it's just frivolous. We just can't, you can't actually do it.
Mm-hmm. Does the NCAA do anything good?
No. God, no.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Just checking.
Yeah, no.
Hold the umbrella of the sports we like to watch. Other than that, no.
Wildy and Tausch They're coming up next. 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound